I'd like to call the public session to order. I have one person signed up to speak. I just ask that you step up to the podium when you speak and state your name and address and try to keep your comments to under 5 minutes. Oh. You. And Judy was the only person I had signed up to speak. Would anyone else like to speak? Seeing none, I will. Okay. Almost.
As you can see, Mayor, on the spur of the moment, just like Congress, I've been hearing some complaints on Bridge you're doing speeding belt, it's got 50, 60 mile an hour down the street. You use that on that car of yours. Thank you.
Thank you, Miles.
You're welcome.
Any other public speakers? Seeing none, I will close public session, and the regular meeting starts at 7:30. I'd like to call the meeting to order. Will you please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. The clerk, please call the roll.
His Honor the Mayor.
Here.
Councilor Reynolds.
Here.
Councilor McLaughlin.
Here.
Councilor Emmons.
Here.
Councilor Walker.
Here.
Councilor Gosick.
Here.
Councilor Van Buren.
Here.
Councilor Cordino.
Here.
All present.
Thank you. There's a few items under the mayor's report. The first one is we actually had a recently retired city employee pass away last month on June 27th, 2017. Rita Vona, who was 62 years old, passed away. She served as the City of Oswego Clerk Registrar starting on January 1st, 1994. She retired on 5/27/2017 and then passed away after an illness on 6/27/17. So because of her dedication to the City of Oswego and public service, I'd like to acknowledge Rita by having a moment of silence. Thank you. And secondly, we have a special guest tonight with Ruth Sayer being here at the Common Council meeting. Ruth recently celebrated her 100th birthday with a birthday party at Bridey Manor. I attended that birthday party and issued her a city proclamation at that party. I must say two things at the birthday party. It was the biggest birthday party I've ever been to. And it had the best looking and tasting birthday cake that I've ever seen in my entire life. So as if she didn't do enough in her life already, she topped those two categories for me probably for the rest of my life. So congratulations to Ruth. What I would like to do is reread the proclamation and issue a copy so we can get a photo for Ruth. And then I'm going to introduce Mercedes Neese, who will speak a little more about Ruth's life and what we hope to do to keep Ruth's to showcase the work Ruth has done and also encourage others to try to replicate that work in their life. So the proclamation is honoring Ruth Sayer on her 100th birthday. And it reads, whereas Mrs. Ruth Richard Sayer is being honored by her many friends and loving relatives on the occasion of her remarkable milestone of 100 years on July 2nd, 2017. And whereas Ruth Richards was born in Granite Falls, North Carolina on July 2nd, 1917, where she was educated and was a graduate of Lenoir-Rhyne University and the University of North Carolina with a master's degree in education. And whereas Ruth Richards came to Oswego in 1947 and began 70 years of service to the Oswego community, she started a career in Oswego as an elementary teacher in the campus school at the Oswego State Teachers College, spearheading her lifelong dedication to education, inspiring hundreds of students during her career, and making lifelong friendships and remembrances. And whereas Ruth Richards was united in marriage to Oswego native Frank E. Sayer Jr. on April 16, 1949 at the Trinity Methodist Church, and thereby became an honorary Oswegonian, yet retaining a lasting elegance of Southern charm. Their marriage was blessed with 4 sons, 1 daughter, and 8 grandchildren, who received a kind and happy home in the historic Sayer family homestead at 31 Varick Street, and who all developed into good citizens following in the footsteps of Ruth and Frank Sayer. And whereas Ruth and Frank Sayer have a proud legacy as advocates for Oswego and its prosperity through the support of local business enterprises, encouraging civic pride, promoting the preservation of the local history and landmarks, and creating scholarships for good citizenship and teaching of children. In addition to being a loving wife, mother, grandmother, and lifelong friend to those who know her, Ruth Sayer is always the finest hostess in the heart of her home, providing a lasting legacy for her family. And whereas Ruth Sayer has inspired her many friends and acquaintances with her wit, wisdom, and passion for philanthropy through support of civic organizations, including, but not limited to, the Friends of Oswego County Hospice, Oswego Ladies Home, Oswego Public Library, Oswego County Historical Society Richardson Bates House Museum, the Heritage Foundation of Oswego County, Riverside Cemetery of Oswego, H. Lee White Maritime Museum, American Association of University Women, Oswego College Foundation, Oswego Hospital Auxiliary, and the Oswego Garden Club. She was also an honorary Rotarian, a Paul Harris Fellow, and was named New York State Woman of Distinction in 2005. Ruth has made a lifelong commitment to making Oswego the friendliest and nicest place to live, work, and enjoy. In her own words, there is no place like home than Oswego. And whereas in appreciation for a lifelong dedication to the betterment of Oswego, be it known that a special campaign named in her honor will be titled Be Like Ruth Sayer, 70 Years of Service, to begin on July 2nd, 2017, to instill the legacy and initiate the encouragement of citizens to support the many nonprofit organizations with the many important endeavors that provide a strong sense of community. Now, therefore, I, William J. Barlow, Jr., Mayor of the City of Oswego, along with the Oswego Common Council and the citizens of Oswego, do hereby present this proclamation to Ruth Sayer with best wishes for good health and happiness, and with our sincere congratulations on the occasion of 100th birthday celebration. Ruth, if you want to come up here, we'll do a photo in the middle of the chamber. Not gonna happen. Nice to see you again. All right. This is your copy. The nice one's at home still, right? You didn't throw it out. Very good. Thank you. Congratulations. Now I'd like to invite Mercedes Neese up to the microphone to speak more about the Be Like Ruth Sayer 70 Years of Service campaign.
Thank you. Thank you, Council, Mayor Barlow, and all the wonderful people in the audience here tonight. A couple months ago, Dustin and I met with Mrs. Sayer and asked her about if we could have a community thank you for her. And she said, no way. Nothing we could do to convince her otherwise. What she did want is to inspire people to do what she did for 70 years. So, for myself, as an active member of several of the cultural not-for-profits that we helped support and found, the H. Lee White Maritime Museum, the Oswego Public Library, and the Heritage Foundation of Oswego County, all organizations that we not just fostered and supported, but in some cases helped found. We are honored and humbled by her 70 years of dedicated service to the culture and heritage of Oswego. I'm at the H. Lee White Maritime Museum because of Ruth and Frank, working alongside people like Rosemary Nesbitt, Helen Braybeck, Maren Felice, who just recently passed away, and numerous others to create a community with an exceptional quality of life. Ruth is an example Fight Greece campaign. It's an opportunity for citizens to step forward and help their favorite not-for-profit with their individual needs for volunteerism, service, and donation. The campaign will be launched, I guess, today, right? In celebration of her significant birthday, we're kicking off the campaign tonight. I'd like to mention we have representatives from most every the organizations that are part of the campaign. We have the Oswego County Historical Society, the Philanthropic Educational Organization, H.E. White Maritime Museum, Riverside Cemetery, Heritage Foundation of Oswego County, and the Oswego Public Library, and of course she's a big supporter of Friends of Hospice. Also, her family is here tonight, and I'm told to mention Steve Sayer and Nancy first. Right? Okay. And Frank and Bethany Sayer and granddaughter Lindsay Sayer. So we're all here in the audience, and I don't know if we can get a group shot at some point. That was kind of fun. But the different organizations have different needs. The Historical Society, one of the ideas was to establish a historic rose garden that would be befitting of the era of the Bishop of Bates House. The Philanthropic Educational Organization, they provide scholarships for women to go to college, and they're having a couple fundraisers coming up at McDonald's, so we can all go there and help them out that way. Our campaign at the H.E. White Maritime Museum has already started. We started doing the buildings at the voting center, including the waterfront. Riverside Cemetery, they need about 40 trees removed, and they could use the restroom in the chapel. Heritage Foundation of Oswego County has several projects. They want to canvass the folks in the Franklin Square district and see if anyone else wants a historic plaque, and also possibly start a district in Fulton. The Oswego Public Library is looking for help the purchase of a 3D printer, thank you very much, and the supplies that go along with that, as well as help with their flower gardens and their tourism rack inside the building. So some of these are small, some of these are larger, some of these might take several years, or can be done this summer or in the fall, whatever. But we really kind of hope that people are inspired to do like Ruth, and that this will continue on for a lot of years. So I'd like to, in particular, thank Ruth for coming up with the concept, really, because she was very strong in wanting to inspire citizens of the community, and thank Dustin and Ellen and John who the work on this. So you'll see some flyers and things that will be going out about this campaign, and hopefully some times too. So if you have a project, we'll have to find that you like it, and hopefully people will ask about that. And so we like that this will continually grow each year, and we bring in other not-for-profits, and we just started out with a small group. So that's, if there's any questions. Any other comments? Everyone involved in the organization that I mentioned is here to raise your hand. All right. So if you want to vote, please.
Do you want to do a picture now, Mercedes, with the council? Yep.
Can you have you all come on up?
Hey. Yeah, Board Member Becker. Let's go.
What's that? They want
Get in here.
I guess we probably should
Yeah.
get back up. Get up there. I guess we gotta get. Let's all get in this one.
Oh, I made miles.
Who's short? I want to stand next to the short people. I gotta stand next to her. Let's be afloat. You guys aren't too tall. Right? That's fair. Anyway, we're ready to go. Let me know. Mayor told us to get in here, so I don't need any. That's fine. Anywhere in here. Good enough. Yeah, let's see if we can tell us how taller than 80. Miles with it too related. All right. Photogenic. All right, got my microphone.
She explained it. No bathrooms for West Park?
I'm at the other side now.
We'll let it clear out a little.
You read it. Watch Brandon for like a month, right?
A meeting to do.
Yep. I was wondering what was going on earlier. I didn't realize.
All right, so under the mayor's report, before we get to the resolutions, I do have one more order of business. Last week there was a debate about, there was proposed legislation about herbicides, pesticides, and the application of those chemicals to city parks. And I just want to speak to that because there were some allegations made that just weren't true. The first one, I'll give some of the history first. The history is that before we took office, the city had a person licensed who was allowed to spray the pesticide, herbicide to city parks and city property. That person retired before I took office and before we took office, and the city nobody on city staff had the license after that to apply that chemical to city property. And that's when we pick up the story last year when some controversy came about, the city sent out an RFP to hire somebody to apply the weed killer to city property. I think it passed first, and then there was some public pushback after that, so we reconsidered. The problem was we had already passed the contract, and we would have had to incur a penalty if we reneged the contract. So we did end up spraying. Now, since that spraying, we have not sprayed anything anywhere on city property, period. And I know this because in order to spray, we would have to, because nobody on city staff has the license, we would have to come back to council to hire another contractor, another RFP, and award them to hire them to do it. So it would have to come through the whole process. So since then, which after that, I think during the whole process when the public pushed back, I think we all agreed, I know I did, that we did not want to spray weed killer or that chemical on public property. So that's why the legislation proposed last week came as somewhat of a surprise. We haven't sprayed an ounce of the herbicide, pesticide anywhere this year because that is the policy, although it wasn't in writing. So Councilor Goza kind of brought up that law out of nowhere and didn't talk to me as he alleged during the meeting. He said he talked to me, solicited my opinion. It's not true. He said he solicited Mr. Kell's opinion, That's not true. He said that we sprayed around the pool. The pool is surrounded by concrete. That's not true. And I don't think we've ever sprayed around the pool because there's concrete on both sides. But besides that, it's obviously his right to propose legislation. But I think the where it gets complicated is after he came to the meeting and proposed it last week, Councilor Cordino, I thought, mind you, he didn't talk to anybody. Councilor Cordino, I thought, had some well thought out bullet points that sounds like he spent some time thinking about. And I know Councilor Emmon asked a few questions. I don't think they were outright opposed to it. I think they were just debating parts of the law, trying to understand the law before they voted yes or no, ultimately voted to table. During that questioning, Councilor Gozick alleged that they were obstructionists and launched into a tirade about everything the DPW does wrong. The commissioner wasn't there, I wasn't there. And, Councilor, I don't know if you think you're in Washington or you think you're in Albany, but I don't need, and we don't need, that sort of attitude and talk here. I mean, we're six-year colleagues who care about the city as much as you do, and to allege that we're secretly spraying pesticide on city parks or we don't care about the health and wellness of the city is just, I think it's not really fair, and it's not fair to your colleagues. So I'm not saying that I don't support the law. In fact, I support not spraying, as I made that clear last year, and I'll continue to make it clear going forward, and I'm happy we're not spraying now. There's no plans to spray. And I just ask that before you come and lie about talking to me or the commissioner and berating the counselors who ask questions, to just, if you're going to propose regulation or legislation, just do it in a positive light without putting down the departments and the work they do and the city employees and your colleagues. So to put the policy that we talked about last year in writing, I've prepared an executive order, the first one of 2017, prohibiting the application of herbicides on certain city properties. It is essentially the same, if not it goes further than the proposed legislation does. And it reads, by order of the mayor of the city of Oswego in accordance to Article 4, Section C400 of the Charter of the city of Oswego, as set forth in the Code of the city of Oswego, New York, and the obligations thereunder do establish rules, regulations, and procedures for all city departments and to faithfully execute all local laws, ordinances, and applicable state and federal laws. It is and shall hereby be ordered that the application of certain herbicides on city-owned property by city personnel is hereby prohibited. In particular, pesticides containing the chemical glyphosate, commercially known as Roundup, are banned from application within 150 feet of all city playgrounds, parks, pools, and picnic areas, as well as the grounds of City Hall in the Conway Building, and the Gallagher Pool, and the Cullinan and Crisafulli ice skating rinks. And it is further ordered that the Commissioner of Public Works will ensure the DPW personnel assigned to apply herbicides adhere to this order. And it is further ordered that this executive order shall take effect immediately and shall continue until said order is revoked, modified, or otherwise terminated, except when there is an imminent threat to public safety, in which case the application of such herbicides may be authorized at the direction of the mayor upon documented proof from the Commissioner of Public Works or his designee. So this covers all city employees. If there is some extenuating circumstance, the DPW personnel is going to have to supply photographs and written documentation as to why he thinks the need would be appropriate, which obviously I will share with the Common Council. And again, it covers city personnel, and it really by default covers if we were to contract out, because that has to come before the Common Council anyway after we do an RFP. So I'm going to sign this order. And that is the policy in writing without having to pass a local law, and what you do as far as passing regulation and legislation after this is totally up to you, Counselor. Now that that's cleared up, any counselors have any comments? Counselor Gozick.
Yeah, with all due respect, I'll save the debate for next week. but I do take offense with the fact that you're calling me a liar in public, and I'll save that for next week. If there was anything that was exaggerated or misspoken, I don't feel, if anybody here wants to go back and listen to anything in there was untrue, but I would like to save that debate for next week when we come back. So I'm going to leave it at that, but I think that anybody who takes the time to listen to the meeting on YouTube, you can go find it July 3rd. It's the last 30 minutes. I think that it's worth going back to listen to again, and I would encourage people to come out. Mothers, older people, you have children, pets, you should come out. We should have our debate next week at the proper time during committee meeting, and we'll be ready. So I'm looking forward to the discussion and the debate and the dialogue. And I would encourage the citizens of Oswego to come out and weigh in on the topic, because government isn't static, and the players up here change. And that's why we have laws, okay? Because men are fallible, and they err, and institutions like government are our efforts to achieve a more perfect union and to create a free country, a work in progress, as we know in America, we've striven for years. So I think in the 21st century, an issue like this and a law like this is significant, and it's important not just to make Oswego look good or to have the image of being progressive, but to truly and really protect the citizens of Oswego from this dangerous chemical for the future, for posterity, not just for the time being. So I do commend the city for the policy it's chosen, but I'll save the debate for next week.
Any other comments before we read resolutions? Seeing none, will clerk please call resolution 254?
Approve minutes, Common Council meeting held June 26, 2017.
Councilor Emmons, Councilor McLaughlin. Any comments? Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilor Cordino.
Yes.
Councilor Reynolds.
Yes.
Councilor McLaughlin.
Yes.
Councilor Emmons.
Yes.
Councilor Walker.
Yes.
Councilor Gosick.
Yes.
Councilor Van Buren.
Yes.
Resolution passes 7-0.
Clerk, please call resolution 255.
Appoint Commissioner of Deeds.
Councilor Walker, Councilor McLaughlin. Any comments? Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilor Cordino.
Yes.
Councilor Reynolds.
Yes.
Councilor McLaughlin.
Yes.
Councilor Emmons.
Yes.
Councilor Walker.
Yes.
Councilor Gosick.
Yes.
Councilor Van Buren.
Yes.
Resolution passes 7-0.
Clerk, please call resolution 256.
Approve use of city properties, Mercedes Nice, Executive Director of H. Lee White Maritime Museum, in order to host the Festival of Ships event to be held July 21st through July 23rd, 2017.
Councilor Cordino, Councilor Goza. Any comments? Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilor Cordino.
Yes.
Councilor Reynolds.
Yes.
Councilor McLaughlin.
Yes.
Councilor Emmons.
Yes.
Councilor Walker.
Yes.
Councilor Gosick.
Yes.
Councilor Van Buren.
Yes.
Resolution passes 7-0.
Clerk, please call resolution 257.
Approve use of public space, Catherine Early, in order to host a block party to be held on July 16th, 2017.
Councilor Gozick, Councilor McLaughlin. Any comments? Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilor Cordino.
Yes.
Councilor Reynolds.
Yes.
Councilor McLaughlin.
Yes.
Councilor Emmons.
Yes.
Councilor Walker.
Yes.
Councilor Gosick.
Yes.
Councilor Van Buren.
Yes.
Resolution passes 7-0.
Clerk, please call resolution 258.
Authorize public hearing regarding proposed change of zone for certain property located in the 7th Ward from an R2 residential district to a B2 central business district. Petition of Paul and Tina Sawyer.
Councilor Cordino, Councilor Walker. Any comments? Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilor Cordino.
Yes.
Councilor Reynolds.
Yes.
Councilor McLaughlin.
Yes.
Councilor Emmons.
Yes.
Councilor Walker.
Yes.
Councilor Gosick.
Yes.
Councilor Van Buren.
Yes.
Resolution passes 7-0.
Clerk, please call resolution 259.
Authorize public hearing regarding proposed amendments to the Code of the City of Oswego, Chapter 249, Vacant and Occupied Property Maintenance, Section 249-7D, Dumpster Requirements, Permit Fee.
Councilor Emmons, Councilor McLaughlin. Any comments? Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilor Cordino.
Yes.
Councilor Reynolds.
Yes.
Councilor McLaughlin.
Yes.
Councilor Emmons.
Yes.
Councilor Walker.
Yes.
Councilor Gosick.
Yes.
Councilor Van Buren.
Yes.
Resolution passes 7-0.
Clerk, please call resolution 260.
Confirm 2017 assessment roll for the City of Oswego.
Councilor Van Buren, Councilor Emmons. Any comments? Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilor Cordino.
Yes.
Councilor Reynolds.
Yes.
Councilor McLaughlin.
Yes.
Councilor Emmons.
Yes.
Councilor Walker.
Yes.
Councilor Gosick.
Yes.
Counselor Van Buren.
Yes.
Resolution passes 7-0.
Clerk, please call Resolution 261.
Approve dry storage fee for trailers at Wrights Landing and International Marinas.
Counselor Reynolds, Counselor McLaughlin. Any comments? Clerk, please call the roll.
Counselor Cordino.
Yes.
Counselor Reynolds.
Yes.
Counselor McLaughlin.
Yes.
Counselor Emmons.
Yes.
Counselor Walker.
Yes.
Counselor Gosick.
Yes.
Counselor Van Buren.
Yes.
Resolution passes 7-0.
Clerk, please call Resolution 262.
Authorize mayor to sign change order number GC-1 with MA Bongiovanni Incorporated for project modifications to the East Side wastewater treatment plant dechlorinization system upgrade project.
Counselor McLaughlin, Counselor Walker. Any comments? Clerk, please call the roll.
Counselor Cordino.
Yes.
Counselor Reynolds.
Yes.
Counselor McLaughlin.
Yes.
Counselor Emmons.
Yes.
Counselor Walker.
Yes.
Counselor Gosick.
Yes.
Counselor Van Buren.
Yes.
Resolution passes 7-0.
Clerk, please call Resolution 263.
Authorize mayor to execute all documents necessary to effectuate the services of Messick, Cohen, Wilson Baker Architects for an updated architectural report of City Hall.
Counselor Walker, Counselor Gosick. This is we intend to apply for a CFA state grant for funding to try to rehabilitate at least some of City Hall. This firm is going to be back up here later this week. This is a firm that did a comprehensive analysis of the structure at City Hall back in, I think, 2013. So what we need to do now is just have them come back up, update the engineering report, because that needs to be included in the application when we send the application off to the state. I know that back when they did their initial report, I believe the price tag to fix everything that's wrong at City Hall, which is the roof. I know there's some gutters, windows. This wall behind me, if you go down on Oneida Street, it's actually bowed out where you can see the structure's actually displaced. I think the price tag back then was $2 million, $2.5 million, so we're going to assume that it's going to be much more, considering that was a few years ago. So this is just $5,000 to have that firm come back up. They're based in Albany, and update that report so we can submit for a grant. Any other comments? Clerk, please call the roll.
Counselor Cordino.
Yes.
Counselor Reynolds.
Yes.
Counselor McLaughlin.
Yes.
Counselor Emmons.
Yes.
Counselor Walker.
Yes.
Counselor Gosick.
Yes.
Counselor Van Buren.
Yes.
Resolution passes 7-0.
Clerk, please call Resolution 264.
Authorize purchasing agent to seek bids for the replacement of roofs at the East Side wastewater treatment plant.
Counselor McLaughlin, Counselor Emmons. Any comments? Clerk, please call the roll.
Counselor Cordino.
Yes.
Counselor Reynolds.
Yes.
Counselor McLaughlin.
Yes.
Counselor Emmons.
Yes.
Counselor Walker.
Yes.
Counselor Gosick.
Yes.
Counselor Van Buren.
Yes.
Resolution passes 7-0.
Clerk, please call Resolution 265.
Approve transfer of funds from the Water Fund contingent account to the Water Fund Power and Pump contracted services account.
Counselor Van Buren, Counselor Reynolds. Any comments? Clerk, please call the roll.
Counselor Cordino.
Yes.
Counselor Reynolds.
Yes.
Counselor McLaughlin.
Yes.
Counselor Emmons.
Yes.
Counselor Walker.
Yes.
Counselor Gosick.
Yes.
Counselor Van Buren.
Yes.
Resolution passes 7-0.
Clerk, please call Resolution 266.
Approve transfer of funds from the General Fund contingent account to the Parks Material and Supplies account.
Counselor Cordino, Counselor Van Buren. Any comments? Clerk, please call the roll.
Counselor Cordino.
Yes.
Counselor Reynolds.
Yes.
Counselor McLaughlin.
Yes.
Counselor Emmons.
Yes.
Counselor Walker.
Yes.
Counselor Gosick.
Yes.
Counselor Van Buren.
Yes.
Resolution passes 7-0.
Any other business to come before the council?
Motion to adjourn?
Second.
Clerk, please call the roll.
Counselor Cordino.
Yes.
Counselor Reynolds.
Yes.
Counselor McLaughlin.
Yes.
Counselor Emmons.
Yes.
Counselor Walker.
Yes.
Counselor Gosick.
Yes.
Counselor Van Buren.
Yes.
Resolution passes 7-0.
Meeting is adjourned.